everybody, it's Polly Payne from Horatio Printing. I hope you're having a wonderful day wherever you're at watching this. I have been thinking about the topic of how to plan during a pandemic. I saw a couple people posting their planners and saying, how do I even use this right now? I know a lot of us had specific events and activities and a normal routine of life, and that routine of life has completely been erased and thrown out the window, and we've been shoved into a new routine. And so I wanted to just encourage you and give you some new ideas to help incorporate more quiet time, more peace, and a little more planning into this crazy time. So specifically, how do I use my planner during a pandemic? And I had a couple people say, I had all these appointments and events and things, and none of them are happening anymore. So I don't even know what to put in here. And one of my friends, who is a part of the Horatio Printing family, shared with me how she uses her planner. And so I wanted to tell you a little bit about how Kelly uses her planner. So I went ahead and drew inside this one, and I wanted to show you what she does. So if you have the horizontal layout of the dream planner, you have a whole to-do list over here, and then you've got your schedule over here. And so here's a new way you could think about using your planner, and even go back to maybe if you didn't use last week's, you've got an empty weekly spread, maybe try this in that weekly spread. Over here, she writes down her prayer list. So you could use this little checklist here to be your prayer list. This could be a space that you use every morning with your quiet time. And then on this side, instead of having all her appointments like she normally would have, she sits at her quiet time and writes down one verse or a phrase or something God put on her heart over here. And what's nice is it's not like a huge thing you have to fill out. It's just a tiny little space for you to write down a verse or something that is speaking to you right now. So I wanted to read you specifically the verse, Colossians 3:15, and this can be the first one you write down in your planner. And this is actually the verse from the week of April 13th through the 19th. I love this one. It says, "Let the peace of Christ rule in your hearts, since as a member of one body you were called to peace, and be thankful." That's Colossians 3:15. I love how it says you were called to peace. I've always known I'm called. God has called me. God has called you. But did you know that you're called to peace? To rest in His peace by resting in His strength? That's just such a great thought to center ourselves on during this time. We're called to peace. We're not called to worry. We're not called to fix it all. We're not called to save the whole world's problems. We are called to peace. And from that peace, with our cup full of the peace of Christ, we can go out and be ambassadors of His love and His mercy and His blessing. So that's one way to use the planner during a pandemic, is to write down your prayer requests, and you can see how God checks them off. Our God knows what you need. He is a provider. He is a multiplier of blessings. And so you can put your prayer requests over here and then write down a verse or something each day as you sit in your quiet time in the morning with your coffee. Another way to do it is to put your blessings. Maybe you want to just have a time where you sit down and write your blessings down. It's a really good time to sit and think about that, because it's easy to think about what we don't have right now. But when we sit down and think about how God has carried us through things in the past, we can get more faith and strength for the storm that we're currently in. Another great thing you can do, my friend Allison, shout out to Allison, showed me how she uses the planner as a self-care checklist. I want to show you what Allison does. So she writes down her core things she's trying to incorporate into her daily routine. So example, I have water, Bible reading, I think there's walking, journaling, sleep, getting 8 hours of sleep. Hopefully you can see that. And then she just takes a little ruler and you write down Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And then every day that you accomplish that, like for example, let's say today's Monday, and I've done my Bible reading, I got 8 hours of sleep, and I have taken a walk. So I would check off those particular things, or you can shade it in as well. So however you want to do that, I want to make sure you're able to see it. Hopefully you're able to see that. So that's like a great way to add a self-care checklist. What I always do in my planner is on the to-do list side, I like to break up personal and professional tasks. And I just use like a little bracket, and I just kind of mark those out, and then I create those to-do lists. And for you right now that you're at home, maybe a chunk of your to-do list is home projects. I know I have a lot of projects at home that I never get to, and now is the time. Now, if you are currently a mom working from home, also doing homeschool teaching, your planner and your schedule looks completely different. And for that, I would definitely recommend having a family schedule. Everyone needs to be on the same page to create a time where you know you get to work. Whether that's, in the afternoon we have movie time and that's when mom gets to work, whatever it is, you guys need to have a schedule on the fridge that can change, maybe a dry erase board schedule of sorts, where there is school time, there is work time, we know when the meals are. Just having everyone on a schedule is going to help free up your peace and help the kids have structure so that they have that security of structure as well. So that's just a tip there. That's what we do at our house. My husband and I take turns keeping our child, and then we have that time off to get work done. So that's how we've been doing it in our house. But just want to give you that encouragement. Now, if you have the vertical planner, I have a couple ideas for you there. Here is the vertical style planner. And what I did was I created a line across the top to make sure I'm writing in my morning routine. So you add in a morning routine, like for example, this morning I will be reading Mark chapter 6, tomorrow morning Mark chapter 7, just having that little morning routine listed out for myself to check off. I keep my prayer lists here over in the to-do list section. And then for each day of the week, you could just write down a verse that inspires you, or write down at the end of the day, sit down with your planner and write down your blessings, write down what you're thankful for. That's a great way to just incorporate that stillness, incorporate time to contemplate what you're thankful for in this season, so we can cultivate gratitude and just have more peace that we walk in. I definitely recommend planning out your Sabbath, preparing for your Sabbath and truly enjoying it. So for my Sabbath here, I've got a to-do list, and it is taking a Sabbath nap, having a family walk, having time of worship, and doing something for me that I enjoy, like journaling and painting. So have that Sabbath list. Let your whole family choose something that they want to do for their Sabbath. And really just start to incorporate that into your routine. And whenever things go back to normal, you can still keep that wonderful Sabbath routine. So that's a few things. Hopefully this helps you during this time. And I would love to know how you are planning during a pandemic. So make sure you show us how you're setting up your week and tag us. We'd love to know. And if you have any questions, you can always reach out at hi@HoratioPrinting.com. You are so loved. Bye, guys.